Xin chào.
Xin chào.
Welcome to Vietnam.
I am Casey Zaugg, your iFit trainer. As you can see, we are in the beautiful country of Vietnam. One of my favorite ways to get a workout in is to go on an adventure, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're gonna kick off this amazing scenic performance series here at the War Memorial and spend a few minutes spinning our legs lightly at a cadence of around 50 to 60. Put your RPE or rated perceived exertion at about 2 to 3 right now. We want to get the blood flowing, get the heart rate up a little bit, just so we can prepare to hit off our first VO2 intervals in a few minutes. This memorial represents a remembrance of the 100,000 or so Vietnamese who lost their lives in this region alone. Over 1 million Vietnamese died during the war, but this is a remembrance shrine dedicated to those individuals. In fact, there are over 100,000 names listed here alone in order to help us remember the sacrifice and the lives lost during this tragic war. Make sure you keep spinning. Keep that cadence at around 60. I think it's important that we spend a couple moments during this warm-up to be thoughtful of where we have opportunity to ride. But we will ultimately be moving into the intervals here in a few minutes. So now that we've had that moment of solemnity and thought, let's make sure we get ramping up in preparation for our VO2 intervals. Because as I said earlier, we're jumping into the deep end here in Vietnam for this performance series. And we will absolutely be putting in a leg burning effort today. So the VO2 intervals are designed to help us increase our VO2 max level. This refers to the volume of oxygen our body can assimilate or utilize during our workouts, which allows us to avoid going anaerobic and seeing that immediate decrease in performance. With the more oxygen, the greater lactate levels, or rather lactate threshold levels, will allow us to deliver more power, explosive power, for longer before we quickly degrade. And so, the VO2 intervals will set us at an RPE, rated perceived exertion, of 8 trending to 9. We're not going to be going full on anaerobic during these efforts because each of these intervals is 60 seconds or more. But we will be in that very, very uncomfortable zone as we push it. Up that effort now to an RPE of 4. Increase your cadence to about 70 to 80 right now. I really want those legs to be warmed up. I want the blood to be flowing with a good elevated heart rate before we hit that first interval. Vietnam is such a dynamic, exotic country. And I think there's no better place to start our performance series than here in a location of remembrance and thoughtfulness right outside Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon, to how we, or at least I as someone who's a US citizen, took part in their history. And so during this series, we're going to learn how to overcome mental barriers, physical barriers, push through the pain, but also spend some time learning about very important historical aspects of Vietnam. Get to know the people, the culture, the history a little bit more. Those things are really important as we truly dive in and experience this country. Okay, we're gonna get started on that first interval here in 10 seconds. Get used to those beeps during our rides, because that's quintessential Vietnam. Let's kick it here in 3, 2, 1, push it! Come up, come on! You got this. RPE, rated perceived exertion of 8 to 9 here. This is gonna burn. You will feel this later. Keep pushing it. Get that cadence up to 90. If you're a high-speed spinner, maybe you're pushing close to 100. Lay down that power. We only need to hold this for 30 more seconds. This is a performance series here in Vietnam. So no lackadaisical spinning here. Really big effort. Keep going for 10 more seconds, come on. Okay. Turn in here, 3, 2, 1. Stop the interval. Woo! Woo! So not only were we able to knock out that first interval, but we totally were able to experience the insanity of traffic here in Vietnam at the same time. For these rests, drop your cadence to around 60. Put your RP at about 2 to 3. We really need to recover during each of these rest periods between the intervals. Because this is our first set of VO2 intervals in the series, we will have a work to rest ratio of 1 to 2, which means for every minute of work or interval, we'll get 2 minutes of rest. You need to train your body and get accustomed to this work over time. And eventually, we'll go 2 to 1 work to rest. So by the end of this series, you are going to be a powerhouse of effort. Vietnam is such a vibrant and beautiful country, and the culture here is so welcoming and amazing. It's definitely a different vibe than what I think a lot of Americans would have experienced decades ago during the war, which I think speaks to the humility and openness of the Vietnamese people. Let's get ready for our next interval here in 5 seconds. You ready to push it up? 3, 2, 1, go! Up your cadence, 90 to 100. Come on. 1 minute here. Follow me. Woo, woo, woo. This is almost like a cyclocross course, the way we get to navigate this. What a great way to kick off this performance series here in Vietnam. I've got to say, the quality of this dirt road is better than some of the other roads that we ride in this series. So you'll have to join me for future segments to really see how we navigate the cobblies on our bike. But we're rolling now through wetlands, flooded plains, rice paddies. For a few more seconds, bring it down here in 3, 2, 1, dial it back. Spin lightly. Woo! 2 minutes of recovery here. Ooh, great work. Drop your RPE, 2 to 3 here. Roll lightly over this bridge. We're 2 intervals in. Many to go. So I don't want you blowing it up too early. Grab a sip of water if you need to. It's very hot here in Vietnam. We're celebrating the Lunar New Year here with the performance series. So folks, I've been out and about celebrating, traveling. Hey puppy, come and join us. Hello, Xin Chao. Dude, we're in the rest period. We don't need to do our interval yet. We got 45 seconds to go. That dog was not following protocol. But being able to come and celebrate the turning over of a new year here in Vietnam has been exceptional. And we will get to see some amazing locations, very diverse rides during this series as we explore VO2, tempo, endurance, and FTP intervals. And you will get strong over the course of this if you follow the directions and do it properly. And speaking of strong, you ready to knock out your next interval? Lead me out. Get ahead. 3, 2, 1, push it. Cadence 90. RPE 8 to 9 here. Really give it your all. Unobstructed views of those rice paddies. So beautiful here. Such an amazing location to be out suffering on the bike. Few things better than enjoying a nice morning ride through the rice fields in Vietnam. Feeling good? Those legs burning yet? Our temperature's eclipsing the heat we're gonna experience here in Vietnam. Keep it up for 10 seconds. Don't go slow on me now. 3, 2, 1, dial it back. Woo! Nice work. Nice work. Drop your cadence to around 60 now. RPE of 2 to 3. During this series, I'm going to talk to you not only about some of the deep cultural significance of the areas we're visiting in Vietnam, which we got to experience firsthand during our warm-up today, but also I want to spend time focusing on a passion of mine, which is athlete health and nutrition. Let's look both ways before we cross the street, because you'll come to learn that here in Vietnam, it's always heads up while riding our bikes. Vietnamese are exceptionally good drivers and very aware, but it's on us to be just as aware. But in the world of athlete nutrition and health, I've spent years focusing on finding that mix of clean ingredients, optimal carbs, fats, protein that delivers endurance nutrition, whether you're on the bike, off the bike, needing a snack. And that's why I founded Trail Truffles. And that is how I'm contributing to the ongoing discussion around performance improvement and athlete betterment. And speaking of betterment, let's go knock out that interval to improve our VO2 max in 3, 2, 1, go! Really push it here. Hold a solid RPE of 9. Cadence 90 to 100. No letting up here. We've got a nice long straightaway. Serious power delivered to the pedals. When you are properly fueled as an athlete, you will have glycogen stores to work through. Once those get depleted, your body then needs to revert to fat or protein, your muscle, to fuel, which is oftentimes less efficient. So you need ongoing glycogen replenishment before, during, and after exercises. Let's slow this one down in 2, 1, pull it back. Woo! Fantastic work so far. You've already knocked out several of those VO2 intervals. Do you feel the way your body is gulping in that air, that oxygen? It's needed to fuel or provide the catalyst for fuel in your mitochondria, those powerhouses that allow your slow twitch and fast twitch muscle fibers to do their job. And for the longest time, nutrition was an afterthought for a lot of athletes. It was all about the number of hours you spent on the bike or putting in high intensity intervals or base miles. What we're learning, and it's different for each athlete and body composition type, that certain ratios of macro ingredients, carbs, both simple and complex, proteins, healthy fats, fiber, will result in the best outcome for the individual. And so it's different for each person. What's good for me might not necessarily be what's best for you, which, by the way, we're in a rest period. That's why it's okay to kind of sit and push a lighter pace. RP of 2 to 3 here. In the interval, we're just cranking it. None of this lackadaisical spinning. But on the point of intervals, let's knock out the next one here in 3, 2, 1, push it. RPE 8 to 9 here. Cadence of 90 to 100. All of our intervals today are going to be seated. We don't have much of an elevation profile or vertical to deal with. This is all going to be seated, high-speed spinning, VO2 improvement intervals. Over halfway done, keep going. But as I was saying before the interval started, we'll want to work with you over the course of the series to find that optimal nutrition mix, layered on with hydration, so you have adequate fuel to power you through these workouts. 3 more seconds, then another rest. 2, 1, dial it back. Woo! Fantastic work. This has been a very nice, scenic stretch of road to really focus on these initial VO2 intervals. Getting ready to take a ride here as we roll back into some of that fun dirt road riding in Vietnam. Wow, look at this canopy. The way this beautiful flora overhangs gives us a little bit of sun blockage. This is exceptional. In fact, I think we're rolling through a rubber plantation, which is one of the chief crops here in this section of Vietnam. Previously owned by Michelin, the French company, during the colonial rule. It's now run and owned, of course, by Vietnamese, which is awesome that they have their own agricultural ownership and prowess here as a major exporter of this critical crop. One of the things we like to say in cycling is always keep rubber side down. And thanks to these trees in this area of Vietnam, we're able to do that. 10 seconds until our next interval, so get ready to kick up your cadence and your effort to an RPE of 8 to 9. 3, 2, 1, push it! Come on, we're not done yet. We've got a few of these. I know it hurts. I know it burns. Suck in that oxygen. Let's increase that volume. You're able to assimilate, to be an effective rider, to hit those goals you want. Keep going, over halfway through. Xin chào. Ten seconds. Keep going strong. Three, two, one. Pull back. Woo! Fantastic work. Only 2 VO2 intervals to go. You've got it left in you, right? A little fuel remaining in the tank. Drop your cadence here to about 60. RP of 2 to 3. I want to make sure you adequately rest during each of these. Now, as I mentioned in the intro to this series, to this ride even, rest, nutrition, and hydration are paramount to success to improve your performance. And this is a performance series. It's advanced, it's hard, but you're gonna see some serious gains over the course of these 16 stages. And so much like the rest we take in between each of these intervals, to let our muscles prepare for the next heavy effort. After you finish up this stage today, hydrate properly, get some calories in you. Usually recommended a 3 to 1 carb to protein ratio. Get some adequate rest as well. Elevate the legs, stretch a bit. Make sure you're nice and limber in preparation for the next one. This is amazing. Getting to roll through these plantations here. Vietnam always delivers on unique experiences. Let's experience another interval here and kick it off in 3, 2, 1, push it. I'm gonna get out of the saddle for about 3 seconds to get through some of this sand. Ugh. How you feeling? Keep going. Cadence, 90. RPE, 8 to 9. Don't go easy on me here. You got it. This was a 30-second interval. So we didn't have to push it as long. You can finish strong, and then we'll have one more. 3, 2, 1, dial it back. Oh, nice work. Oh, we're gonna get to say hi to some cows along the way. Murr, move. Because that last interval was 30 seconds, we only have a minute of rest. So you're gonna need to get ready to punch it again for our last VO2 interval. I'm gonna want you to pretty much give it all you've got. Not a solid 10, but just about there. I want you to feel gassed by the end. So let's kick it off here in a few seconds. Get through this sand. Whoo! Kick it here. 3, 2, 1, push it. Come on, come on. Keep up, you got it. Keep spinning. You are doing awesome. Take this berm, we can roll it fast, roll it fast, roll it fast, roll it fast, roll it fast. Nice. Cincho. Keep pushing it. Very good. Lead me out here for the last 15 seconds. Nice work. Very nice work. Three, 2, 1, finish. Oh man, that was awesome. High five on that. Boom. Oh, great work. You did such an amazing job on this, the first set of VO2 intervals in the series. I know you're feeling it in your legs and lungs the same way I am. Woo! That was awesome. Watch for traffic, of course. Only about 10 more seconds of this rest, and it'll transition to the cool down. Xin Chao. Nice little flowing river below there. Always pleasant. Oh, so beautiful. The sun has been rising on this ride, dispelling some of the mist that often will form during the evening in these warm, humid environments. We're now in the cool down section of the ride. I want you to spin lightly. Keep your RPE for 2 to 3 for a little bit here. Give your heart some time to let it taper down. Grab a drink of water for sure. You just put in some serious effort and did such an amazing job. Looks like we've got a sugarcane field right there. Of course, throughout the course of the rides in this series, we always see the landscape dotted with banana trees, coconuts, palms, very tropical and exotic flora and fauna that's very familiar to this region of Southeast Asia. We'll get to explore north central Vietnam, some of the mountainous regions up there. Amazing, amazing views at the Hai Van Pass. Such vibrant greens as the monsoon season is still underway up there. We'll get to ride all throughout the Mekong Delta region in the south of Vietnam. So we've chosen very scenic, beautiful locations to explore during all of these workouts. It'll definitely help us endure through the VO2, tempo, endurance, and FTP intervals. Because this much work, these efforts are not easy. Lots of mental and physical barriers to overcome to improve your performance. But we will get to do it while exploring some amazing areas. Some very iconic locations in Vietnam, as well as breathtaking geographical overlooks that you won't find anywhere else in the world. And I will be coaching you through every step of the way. So, get some fuel in you after this ride. Watch out for the sand too. Oh man, only in Vietnam will we have cool downs while riding a road bike, navigating sand traps. Too much fun. That car just now was a perfect example of what our rides will be like through the cities. That honking was an indicator that they see us. Not an aggressive, get out of the way, or I'm mad at you, but rather it's informative. So they're using horns for what I would say is the intended purpose, so good on them. Keep that cadence around 50 to 60 here and drop your RPE to about a 2. Slow spin it as we work to finish our cool down on this, the first stage of the 16 stage performance series here in Vietnam. Starting off today, right outside Ho Chi Minh City, at that war memorial where we got to explore the Chu Chi Tunnels a bit. Before getting out and crushing those VO2 intervals. I think that being able to start our series here where there's such deep cultural significance gives us a good flavor of what we'll get to see together during our series. And so I'm excited to keep doing these sets and stages with you. Next up, we'll have some tempo intervals. And trust me when I say that they are going to be an experience like no other. So you absolutely need to join me for the second stage of this series. Tempo intervals in and of themselves are a lot of fun. the next stage is especially awesome. We're gonna wrap up our ride today, rolling in to a location near the Chu Chi Tunnels where we started that includes a lot of old US military gear, battlement items, warplanes, tanks, artillery from a base that the Vietnamese, the North and the Viet Cong conquered during the war. It's an impressive sight to see some of these extremely old and impressive relics from a bygone era. Hello. Wow, take it all in. I am Casey, your iFit trainer. Thank you for joining me this stage. I know we've got a lot more fun and work ahead of us. Until I see you next time, keep spinning. Peace.